Hey everybody, this is Faris from the AskFaris show, and I'm so excited about today's guest. Today's guest is actually Ivious from Touch Beauty Bar and Spa, and they are actually a huge beauty bar and spa that's actually Ivious, you all are located in Atlanta, Georgia, correct?
Yes.
Got it. They're located in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm so excited about bringing her on the show. So, Ivious, this is I want you to go through and tell our audience just a little bit about yourself. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty on the entrepreneur journey just yet, but tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and just a little about your family life as well.
Well, my name is Ivious. I'm from a small town called Hancock County that's located like in the southern parts of Georgia. After high school, I joined the military for 6 years, and after I did that, I started another journey with medical assistant. I didn't really like it, so I wanted to do something that was more proactive. So that's when I decided to do skincare. And I went to school, and now I'm here.
Wow. You know, I forgot that you were in the military. You did 6 years in the military. What type of service did you do? What was your MOS in the military?
When I was in the military, I was a 92 Golf, which was a food service specialist. I come from a slew of women who love to cook, so that was one of my passions.
Yes. So my thing is, coming from the military, kind of take us back to that point when you were transitioning from the military, because you went from Sparta military to entrepreneur. Like kind of what was that transition like for you from the military to transition over to corporate America to entrepreneurship?
Well, after I was honorable discharged from the Army, I went to work as a private contractor in Afghanistan and Kuwait and things like that. And those were really long hours, and my feet hurt bad.
Yes.
And I said, I don't want to do that anymore. Very long hours. I didn't really get to see my kids or my husband as much. And I said, you know what, Ivious, it's time to do something that you can benefit from and still be able to enjoy your life.
Wow.
So I decided to start my own business.
Wow. So kind of when that decision, because that's one thing, a lot of our listeners, a lot of our viewers, they're individuals that are either thinking about starting their own business or thinking about actually taking that leap. Was it any type of fear that actually kind of crept in your mind, or you said, you know what, this is something I have to do. I've serviced our country. I've worked overseas. I've done a lot of stuff. Was there any fear, or you just said, you know what, this is what I'm about to do?
Well, I had a lot of fear. When I joined the military, it was fear. When I went back as a private contractor, there was fear. When I had my kids, it was fear. And I've conquered all of them.
Wow.
So me starting my own business, yes, there's fear, but I do believe that I'm going to conquer this journey as well.
Wow, and that's amazing, because sometimes people let fear cripple them. Because, again, look at the things like, if you look at your history, just like you said, you joined the military, fear, and you conquered it. You had your children, fear, and you conquered it. You started your own business, fear, and you're conquering it. These are the type of things where I really want our listeners to realize that the absence of fear, it's not the absence of fear, it's what you do in fear. Like, okay, even though I'm fearing these type of things, you push through it. And that's something, look at your track record. That's something that you're consistently doing. So it's obvious that you're going to go through and continue to be as successful as you are, because you are building a beautiful brand for your business. So kind of tell us a little bit about your business.
Well, my business consists of skincare. So we do everything aesthetics and aesthetics. So for the most part, we do chemical peels, facial rejuvenations, waxing, brows, microdermabrasions, all the things that you can actually get at a hair salon, but not as in depth. So
you are really specialized. You're a niche. You specialize in a certain area.
Yes, we do.
Wow. And so what made you really niche down? Because sometimes people can kind of do a lot of stuff. And so what made you say, forget trying to do everything, let me niche down to and be a subject matter expert on what you guys do? So what made you really niche down into this area?
Well, you know, skin is probably 90% of your body. So we have to keep it cleansed. We have to keep it moisturized. We have to keep it toned and hydrated. So with those things, your hair comes from your skin.
Yes.
The oils that your body reproduces comes within your skin. So I figured, you know, everybody gets their hair done, everybody gets their nails done and their manicures and pedicures and things like that. But nobody really focuses on the foundation, which is your skin, which kind of put all those things to where they need to be.
Yes. So, wow. No, and that's amazing because my thing is, again, we think about this thing, and Lord knows my wife always like, hey, Faris, you have to go through, do something. You have bags under your eyes. Are you sleeping right and everything? So skincare is not just for women, it's for men as well, correct?
Of course, skincare is for everyone. If you're living and breathing, we definitely need skincare. And the most important thing is sunscreen. And a lot of people don't realize sunscreen is like the number one thing.
So when you talk about sunscreen, I know as an African American, we feel like, I know, and I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm speaking for a subset of individuals. We feel like, we don't need sunscreen. Like, we have melanin in our skin, so we're good to go. Is that something that's really needed for the African American community?
Of course. We tend to, like you say, stereotype and say, hey, we don't need it. But skin deep and up into the dermis and the deeper layers of the skin, there is sun damage. You can't see it from the exterior. However, it is a lot of sun damage because the sun generates rays, and those types of things still damage the skin cells and things like that. So we definitely, even though we're African American, we have a darker skin tone, we still need to have it.
And one thing I'm hearing from you, I'm hearing a lot of passion behind this, and apparently, was this something that like, what are some of the success stories that you've had? Because I know people, they come to you, they have questions about their skin, they may come with different conditions. So kind of, if you don't have to share a particular person's name, but kind of share one success story that you've actually assisted a person with their skincare that really resonates with you.
Well, I had a client when I was in school, and she came to me every week to get a facial. And I pretty much, she had really bad blackheads and facial hair. As we get older, we tend to get facial hairs and things like that. And I asked her, I said, hey, how much water do you drink? And she said, I really don't drink. And she said, I'm a coffee drinker. And I said, hey, maybe you should start 3 times a day, at least 3 times. And with that, it came to 6 times a day. Wow. And she was from the first day I got to school, she only saw me, and from the time I got there, from the time I left, she had tremendous results to where she didn't have as many breakouts. Wow. She was getting chemical peels every 2 to 3 weeks, and she was doing her own home maintenance at home. So it was very exciting to see the results. Wow. Sometimes a lot of damage, it takes a longer time. So
and that's one thing I really like. I like the care that you're putting behind it, because my thing is not like skin. It's just like, it's like your heart. It's like you have different organs in your body. If you want to take care of your heart, you want to take care of your lungs, you do want to take care of the surface that protects everything from within as well. And that's one thing that's why I think the services that you provide are so needed, and it's key. It's not just for, I know some people are like, well, hey, I just want to get my makeup. No, it's more than just makeup. It's skin care. And I think if we go through the nucleus part of actually breaking down the caring part, hey, everything else will become flawless. Everything else will become flawless as well. Yeah, so I want to go through and ask you another question. Okay, so along this journey, who has been your biggest supporter? Because I know as an entrepreneur, sometimes we have some up days and some down days, but who has been your biggest supporter?
I would have to say my husband. He's a really good guy. He stays on me like white on rice. And of course, my mother and my oldest sister Barbara and my family, they all stay on. But my husband, he's probably like the biggest one. And he's always reminding me, Ivious, do this. Ivious, take this class. Ivious, go here. Ivious, and he just keeps me motivated.
Wow. And that's one thing I really want my listeners to realize, especially those individuals who are in a relationship, couples, husband, wife, married, partnership, or whatever. It's so important to go through and actually support that individual that's taken the path less traveled. Because even though, let's say, if an individual may have a job, they may be employed by a company or whatever, and the other person may be on the entrepreneurial journey, that support is needed, because knowing that you can look to the left or to the right and realize that, hey, this person really truly has my best interests at heart. They're really going to go through and push me in times where I'm down, because I know that there probably has been times where you're like, oh my gosh, let me just go through and do something different. Is this really worth it? But having that partner, having that spouse, having that husband to go through and say, you know what, regardless of what it looks like, we're going to get this thing done. We're a team. I think that's so important. I think it's so critical as well. And big hats off to your husband, because definitely supporting a strong woman, I think that shows the strength that he has as well, to go through and say, you know what, baby, we're going to push you forward. We're going to make this thing happen, because this is our dream as well. So big hats off to him. So tell me about, like, the initial process. So I know you all, and where are you guys located as well?
We're on 299 Peter Street, right downtown from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Nice. So it's a very good location.
You all have a beautiful, I know exactly where Peter Street, our family lives in that particular area. And my thing is, that's a very beautiful, very trendy area as well. So definitely I want my people to go through and check it out there. But kind of walk us through the process. Like when you got your business license, you had already had your certification of your license for estheticians. But my thing is, when you had to go through the business license, the zoning, how was that process?
Oh, that part is so hard. It's so very tedious. And it's a lesson learned. You know, they say the most valuable lessons you learn are the ones that you pay for. Mm-hmm. And when you start paying for them, they stick. They really do stick. So getting license and permits, and actually I just got approved for a sign permit yesterday.
You said a sign permit?
Yes, you have to have a sign permit to hang a sign.
Exactly. And we're going to pause right. We're going to continue to go. But I think that people really need to realize they have to really, because we both started businesses. And sometimes we start business without counting up the cost. Sometimes we learn a lot along the way. Those we call bought lessons. And people don't realize, sometimes you just can't throw up, like, I'm originally from Hancock County, Millersville area. So sometimes we can just put up a sign and like, we think it's good to go. And different areas have different ordinance, different zones, different specifications. And you have to do your work, because there's no need to go to spend all this money on something so beautiful that you can't even put up. And so getting the permits, like, oh my gosh, I can only imagine, especially being so close to downtown downtown and so close to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's a lot of things. So what was one of those bought lessons? What's one of those lessons you said, you know what, this may have cost me something, but I would never, ever do this again? What was one of those lessons that you learned along the way?
Contractors. A lot of them say they can give you the world. Yes. And sometimes they can't. Mm-hmm. And so for me, contractors were a bought lesson for me. Yes. And it was a good one. Yes.
And you know what? And that's one thing I want my entrepreneurs to realize, that don't think that you're going to start a business without learning some lessons. Like sometimes it's going to be stuff that's going to cost you money. And I'm not talking about no $100. It may cost you thousands of dollars. But when you learn it and when you know it, I guarantee you will not repeat that lesson over and over and over again. So it's almost like going to college. Like it took me 9 years to finish college, but sometimes like in college, it may cost me $75,000 to go to college. And so that's a bought lesson, $75,000 worth of lesson. So as an entrepreneur, sometimes it may cost that much, it may not cost. So be willing to go through and invest in yourself. Be willing to go through and use other people's lessons to go through and kind of avoid some of those costly mistakes. But now that you have bought that lesson, other people that are going through that same journey as you are, they can go through and say, you know, you can go through and tell them, hey, don't go down this journey, or don't worry about this right here, or hey, you don't need that right now in your business. Focus on this. So you become that expert when it comes to this as well. So trust me, I know exactly what you're talking about right there. So that's beautiful. And one thing, I think everything in business is intentional. And I looked at your facility. Everything is so immaculately clean. It's beautiful. It's white. I just really love the aesthetic. So what did you come up with the design? I love the chandeliers and everything. Did you come up with the design? Did you intentionally do that, or is this something you just woke up and said, hey, I want it like this?
I intentionally did that. When I first saw this building, it was dark, it was creepy. And I said, you know, this is a great area. And from the surrounding buildings, it's very artists and things like that. And I said, you know what? I want this place to be like clean and luxury and sexy and cool. Yes. And I want it to be inviting. Yes. So, and you know, a lot of people say, oh, it's all white, it's gonna get dirty. And we got something for that. Yes. There's always something for that. So I have a great cleaning company come through every 3 months that'll clean, touch up everything to keep it look great.
And that's what I love, that you were not afraid to stand out, regardless of what it looks like. Like my company is Giraffe marketing. So as giraffes naturally stand out in their habitat. So even on Peter Street, if everything is kind of dark and artists, I have a lot of artists, like you're the one that people are gonna ride down the street and say, oh my gosh, that stands out. An all white building in this particular area, that stands out. And I love that you did not go through and just say, you know, I'm going to do like everybody else. You said, you know what, I'm going to stand out. I'm going to be different. And I think that's one of the key things. That's a really good marketing ploy for you. And it really helps your brand to go through and stand out as well. And,
Thank you.
So yeah, most definitely, most definitely. And I just really, and we went over time, so I know I won't be able to go through and actually take our little break and everything. But one thing that I really, really respect about you is your hustle. So tell me, how important is the hustle? I think people can go to big school, they can go to business school, they can get all the masters and everything like that. But how important is hustle? How important is that raw hustle, the inability or the ability to not give up? How important is the hustle in your business, in your day-to-day business?
It's 100% important. Like that's everything. From the aesthetics, that's nothing. The employees, I mean, they're important, but the hustle, like you have to be. When everybody's asleep, I'm working. When everybody's working, I'm working. When they're asleep, I'm working. So if I'm an expert in it, I'm still working. So even though I look and be like, oh, I'm great at this, I'm great at that, there's always room for an improvement. So my hustle, my ambition is, you know what, you may be here, but there's always room for you to go here. There's always room. If not, somebody's gonna take your spot.
I love it. And that's one thing, you said the key word. I think as an entrepreneur, if you want to start a business and you think it's going to be an 8 to 5 journey or a 9 to 5 journey, you do not want to jump into the entrepreneur world, because entrepreneurs, just like I've said, like, hey, when everyone's asleep, you're working. When everyone's working, you're working. Like it's just like your mind is always constantly thinking about ways to improve, always thinking about ways to go through and level set and continue to go through and be the best in your industry. And I think that's what makes entrepreneurship great. And I think that's what makes individuals kind of fall off to the side, because they come in thinking that, okay, I own my own business. I can wake up when I want to wake up. I can do what I want to do. I'm the boss. I can take the vacations. Yes, you can do those type of things, but it's going to come at a cost. It's going to, like, you have to go through and sacrifice. You have to go through and sacrifice. And that's one thing that I've been following you for a number of years. And I just really seen just the journey just continue. I seen the hunger. And I think that if you're hungry enough, you will go after that, which was going to go through and satisfy you. And I'm just so proud of your journey. I'm so proud of your journey. What type of legacy do you, I know you and your husband are working together on some huge things, but what type of legacy do you want to leave for your children?
Everything. Everything. I want this to be passed on to my children. I want my children to pass it to their children, or either start their own businesses or be entrepreneurs as well, so they can leave something for their grandchildren.
Yes.
I speak this because I say my parents worked to take care of us. They didn't work to leave us anything. My grandparents, because that's just how time worked back in those days. So now that I'm older, and they say each generation is supposed to be wiser. So I do more for my children, and hopefully they can see what mom does and dad, and they can say, you know what, I'm gonna do more for my children. So I want them to be able to live and actually live.
Yeah.
I want them to work and yeah.
And one thing that I know, you've traveled the world. One thing, I was looking at a documentary once, probably about a few years ago, and the gentleman, he said that, hey, he said, I'm not the smartest person out here. I just had a lot of exposure. He said, the reason why I know where the capital of Chile is because my dad and I went to a fishing trip. We went to a fishing trip to the capital of Chile, so that's why I know the capital. So it's not all about being intellectually brilliant, having the highest IQ. It's about exposure. It's like when your children see mom and dad out there working hard and building those dreams and really realizing those things are coming, or actualizing those things, that's going to just continue to expose them to say, you know what, hey, I can go through and do that. And I think it's so important as parents and as entrepreneurs and as just anybody, no matter if you're an entrepreneur or you work at a job or whatever, we have to be the example that we want our children to emulate. Because best believe they will emulate what they see, good or bad. They will go through and do that. And that's one thing that I really see that you and your husband, you guys are really setting that level up. So the bar has been set so your children have something to go towards, instead of just say, you know what, I can settle for less. And I just want to just say I appreciate you all doing it, because not only you're teaching your children that, but your children's friends they will be touched just by the mindset that you all are putting in your children as well.
Exactly. I tell my kids all the time, you have to. There's no B, there's no C. If you stay here, there's no other way but to go is up. So, and we do expose them to a lot. And the reason why, because when you're not exposed, you don't know. So when you're exposed to all these different types of things, now like, oh, well, I can make a job. I can create income from this.
And with the exposure, I remember the first time I walked into $1 million property, and I was intimidated because I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. That's not for me. But like now that my daughter, she's only 18, 19 months, and we're exposing her to those things already. So this becomes the norm. And it's not about the money. It's about the exposure. It's about the belief that you can. Like just like you, who says that a young lady from Sparta, Georgia, Hancock County, could own a successful business not even 1.5 miles from the Mercedes-Benz dealership? Who says that can happen? You said it. You said it, and you put work behind it, and you're making it happen. And that's why it's so key. It's so important for us to succeed. Failure cannot be an option because now that your children see that, okay, mom is 1.5 miles, mom and dad, they're 1.5 miles from Mercedes-Benz dealership. Guess what, mom? When I grow up, I want to own my own Mercedes-Benz stadium. Exposure. It's so important. It's so important.
It is so important. And my son told me last night, he said, Mom, you stayed at that shop all night. I said, when you become successful, these are the things that you're going to be doing as well. Yes. But you're going to have some type of support system, your wife, and she's going to have to be that person to stay at home and make sure the kids are taken care of. And, these other things are taken care of. I said, because it goes both ways. Oh, man. So, yeah.
This is so beautiful. And I just want to go through, I just really appreciate you coming onto our show and really just sharing your story. And I'm definitely going to go through and have you back as well in the future as well. But I just really commend you on taking that leap. Take it, and you took a big leap. And I love that you're not afraid. You push fear to the side and say, forget this. We're about to make this thing happen. Regardless of what it looks like, we only have one option, and that option is to succeed. There will be failures, there will be fear along the way, but we will succeed at the end because this is a journey. This is not a race. And I just want to commend you on that. But before we leave, I want you to give one parting piece of advice for that entrepreneur who's out there, who's thinking about starting a business, who may have a little fear in the background, say, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm worried. I don't know if I have enough capital, money, resources, support. What is that one piece of advice that you go through and give that person so that they can go through and take that leap into entrepreneurship? Or if it's not even entrepreneurship, whatever their dream is, so they can go through and take that leap towards their dream. What's that one piece of advice that you would give to them?
It would probably be, stay true to who you are. Stay true to what you believe in. Don't bend and don't break. If this is a vision you have, move forward with it. You're gonna come with bumps and bruises, and you will heal from them. Just keep pushing forward, and one day, eventually you'll be at the top, or you'll be open for business, or you'll be on the Oprah Winfrey Show or the Faris Show.
Oh my gosh, I really appreciate that. I love your genuine heart and just your willingness to go through and help out other individuals. So let's say if someone's listening right now, and let's say they want to go through and actually, one second. Let's say if someone's listening right now, and let's say if someone wants to reach out to you, how could they reach out to you? Where can they find you? So what's your address? What's the contact information? How can they reach out to you? Facebook, IG, how can they reach out to you?
So my email address is touchbeautybarandspa@gmail.com. Office number 404-330-8088. Facebook, Instagram is Touch Beauty Bar and Spa. I think that's it. I really don't do Twitter. I'm not Twitter savvy yet. So.
Yeah. And my thing is, I'm going to include all those into the show notes as well, so people can go through and actually see it, because I really want people to go through and actually find you. You said you guys are located right down the street from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium off of Peter Street. And what's that address one more time?
It's 299 Peter Street. I'm in Suite 2, and that's Atlanta 30313.
Perfect. Well, hey, there you had it. We've had a great time with Ivious Barnes today from Touch Beauty Bar and Spa. And I just really want to say thank you so much for coming on. And I really want my listeners to go through and actually check them out. Check them out on IG, Facebook. And then if you're in the area, stop by, because skincare is important. But go through it and find this young entrepreneur. Congratulate her. But let's go through and really support our local businesses as well. So I really look forward to coming out and actually meeting you guys really soon. Well, coming to your shop and seeing you guys really soon. And again, we just want to say thank you so much for coming on the AskFaris show. You've been such a pleasure to chat with.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing you.
Most definitely. Well, we'll chat with you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Loyal. I just been working a lot. I'm on my way to the top. I just be ducking the ops. I wanna cut the new drop.